Ugh.
Household repairs himself. Her mother, Sharon, was a homemaker who enjoyed crafting. Now, as a teen in the late 90s into the early aughts, Erica cared about her looks, making sure her hair was on point and her nails were done. Given the time period, she probably had very square French tips or some sort of strange airbrush design. Now, many of us did. And like many of us, she went on to work at her local McDonald's. There, she met the future father of her children, Ramon Rivera III, who was 7 years her senior. Soon after the pair started dating, Ramon began displaying controlling behavior. Now, if you worked in fast food during this time period, Erica's situation is probably one that you've heard about or witnessed many times before. And you might be familiar with how rampant inappropriate relations are between staff. In particular, teenage girls and much older men. Now, I worked at my local McDonald's during high school, and there were men closer in age with my father who were trying to pick me up as if it wasn't a crime. It really made for an uncomfortable work environment, and I can't speak for things nowadays as I've left my apron behind for over 20 years, but I really hope that's changed.
In 2001, at age 18, Erica found herself in a bit of a crisis. She was pregnant. According to a high school friend who did not wish to be named, Erica was reluctant to take part in her high school graduation ceremony because she was starting to show. The friend stated she was afraid to walk on the stage while pregnant. She was embarrassed. Realizing that she needed to retrieve her diploma, the friend was able to persuade Erica to put on her cap and gown. After graduating from Northbridge High School, Erica gave birth to her first child, a daughter named Kayla. She, Ramon, and their new baby lived with her parents. Then Erica found herself pregnant again a few years later. There just wasn't enough room in the house for another child. So the young family moved to 23 St. Paul Street in Blackstone, just north of the Rhode Island state line, into Ramon's sister, named Christina's cramped 3-bedroom home. Eventually, his sister moved out. Erica eventually gave birth to her second child at age 21, a son whom she named Nick. According to family and friends, the move marked the beginning of Erica's spiraling mental health descent. Without her parents' constant support, her ability to cope began to crumble. Loved ones noticed that the once prim and proper young woman began wearing baggy clothes, looking disheveled, and rarely left the house. She had never even gotten a driver's license, and she became more and more isolated. Her family thought she was embarrassed by her unkempt home, and they didn't push it with her.
Then, Erica got pregnant for a third time, and a fourth, and then later, a fifth. But Ramon didn't want any more children. Now, under her baggy attire, the young mother hid these pregnancies. Nobody knew that she was pregnant. When it was time to give birth, Erica delivered these 3 babies alone at night on her bathroom floor. We'll get to what happened to those babies a little bit later in our story. She went on to get pregnant twice more. That's right, a 6th and a 7th child. Please keep these facts in mind as it will become very important later in the story. Just like she had those other times, she hid those pregnancies from Ramon and her family and friends, and later gave birth to them in the same manner. She had 2 baby girls born almost 3 years apart. When Ramon, now 37, was home, Erica hid the girls in the upstairs bedrooms. Eventually, her 2 older children learned about the babies, but Erica insisted that she was just babysitting them.
On social media, Erica kept up this facade that she enjoyed a pleasant domestic life. Her Facebook postings were full of photos of home-cooked meals and pictures of her two older children, Kayla and Nick. However, pictures of her two youngest that she kept secret were nowhere to be found. Now, just like her mother Sharon, she too was rather crafty. Erica made decorations such as Halloween signs and candle holders and sold them for $30 or less at a shop called Jimmy's Place in nearby Whitensville. Erica's creations were apparently popular. The store had only been open 6 weeks, and all of the crafts she made had already sold. Erica would later go on to work at a local Shaw's supermarket for a period of time before Ramon pressed her to quit. At the time of our story, Ramon was working at the Staples headquarters in Framingham.
Despite her crumbling mental state, Erica would leave the house on occasion, and her neighbors had no idea there was anything wrong. She'd wait at the school bus stop every morning with her two oldest kids and make weekly trips to the supermarket. She even hosted a 10th birthday party for her son at Pinsbowl in Milford, where the family enjoyed pizza, cake, laser tag, and arcade games. According to a neighbor who was in attendance with her own son, Erica and Ramon seemed very affectionate with one another at the party. She said he would put his arm around her and they would talk. The neighbor, who works as a preschool teacher and wished not to be named, would often see the couple at their local market basket doing groceries. She noted that Ramon would drive Erica around. She also noted that she and Erica would often chat while waiting at the bus stop for their kids to come home. The two mothers would talk about their children and how they were doing in school. Erica confided that money was tight and there were clues that this might be the case. The neighbor often noticed that Erica's son Nick, who was friends with her own son, would often wear the same clothing all weekends. Nick...
Roofers are furious about this new product that's going viral. Replace your whole roof in as little as 8 hours? And right now, we're looking for homeowners to experience this futuristic roofing product. Click below and enter your zip code to see if you qualify. Erie Metal Roofs is looking for homeowners to install the newest styles and colors of our next-generation metal roofing system. Our next-generation metal roofing system is backed by a lifetime warranty and can be installed in...
Nick also never wanted to go home until it was getting dark out, and she'd have to suggest it was time for him to go. The neighbor never went inside Erica's home. She said that the outside of the home smelled like dog food, but she chalked it up to the neighbor's blood nest. The last time that the neighbor and Erica saw one another was during the summer of 2015. Erica had just gone to a Kmart store that was closing and said that she had bought her daughter a new bedding bag set and her son some new headphones. She suggested that the neighbor head over and check out some of the deals.
On August 27, 2014, Erica's son Nick was spending time with his friend, who was listed in official documents under the pseudonym. Pete's mother, Betsy Brown, left the boys riding their skateboards in the driveway while she ran to the store. However, before she arrived at the store, she received a concerning phone call from her son. He was very upset and wanted her to come home because he could not get the babies to stop crying. After speaking with the boys further, she soon realized they were calling her from inside the Murray home. When Betsy drove up to the house, the two boys were waiting for her in the driveway. As soon as she got out of her car, she heard babies screaming and crying. Nick led Betsy into the house where she found a 3-year-old and a 5-month-old. The two girls were wet and soiled and were found in separate upstairs bedrooms where they were kept on filthy mattresses. The woman was horrified by the overwhelming odor that emanated from the home. According to Betsy, quote, "The smell was overcoming. I can't even describe it. It was a horrible, horrible smell. There was just trash and stuff everywhere." Betsy called 911 for help, and the Blackstone police quickly arrived. They found the 5-month-old girl lying on her back in the bed, covered in feces. She was clothed only in a soiled diaper. In addition, police found something tragic in that bedroom. Near the soiled little girl, police also found the body of a dead dog. In all, there were 3 bedrooms upstairs. Lieutenant Gregory Gilmore, who responded to the St. Paul Street home, attempted to open one of the bedroom doors, but could only force it open a few inches. Trash was piled against the door several feet high, which prevented it from opening completely. From outside the room, the police could see human feces on the walls. According to former Assistant District Attorney John Bradley, upstairs was filthy beyond belief. There was an overwhelming stench of feces. He went on to say that the 5-month-old looked like she had been dipped in the feces, and that soiled diapers were stacked a foot high in some places. But it wasn't just the upstairs that was in extreme state of disarray. Trash, dirty clothing, food containers, and soiled diapers were strewn all about the rooms of the house, covering the floors. The kitchen sink was full of dirty dishes. There were flies and maggots flying around the kitchen and the other rooms, and the house was infested with rodents. In the basement was a living room containing a couch, table, and chairs. A second basement room contained a dog, the bloodhound we mentioned previously, and he was inside of a crate. Lieutenant Gilmore discovered both cases of potty and a leg hanging in that room. Police found this to be a problem because adult use was not yet legal in Massachusetts until 2016. Sometime after 4 p.m., Erica and her now 13-year-old daughter Kayla returned home from her outing. Rodents. In the basement was a living room containing a couch, trash, dirty clothing, food containers, and soiled diapers were strewn all about the rooms of the house, covering the floors. The kitchen sink was full of dirty dishes. There were flies and maggots flying around the kitchen and the other rooms, and the house was infested with rodents. In the basement was a living room containing a couch, table, and some chairs. A second basement room contained a dog, the bloodhound that we mentioned previously. She advised Lieutenant that the 3-year-old and the 5-month-old little girls were her children, that Ramon was the father. She kept this secret from her entire family, including Ramon, her two older children. According to Erica, she was embarrassed to see her 4 children that she, in her own words, probably could not afford. She provided that she had told her older children she was babysitting two children. For some reason, after being told her truth to Lieutenant Gilmore, Erica started to lie. She told the younger girls were born at Milford Regional Hospital, the hospital in Milford. Later, she told the social workers and girls at Gilmore family showed up there in the doctor. After nearly Erica's tragic pregnancy with Pete's mother, the 31-year-old mother sat on her front porch steps with a blank look on her face, where we used to shove her. She didn't shed a tear, so the social workers called her 13-year-old daughter, 8-year-old son, 3-year-old daughter, 5-month-old baby girl out of the night during the Her biggest concern is about her past escape. She was worried that someone would not In reality, this guy had a better chance of making it on the streets of Blackstone than living at home there. Lieutenant Gilmore spoke with her.
Large areas of missing fur. eyes were sunken and covered in goo, and he was infested with fleas. Mr. Sullivan spoke with Erica and told him that she could not care for the family dog or cat. Apparently, the cat had come back. That poor baby was also covered in flea bites. Mr. Sullivan took both animals to the shelter, but they were treated for fleas and then taken to the veterinarian the next day.
DCF placed two younger girls in foster home. When referring to them as Lisa and Gina, pseudonyms they are referred to in official documents. According to some sources, Erica never named them. On September 3rd, 2014, they were seen in the foster children evaluation clinic at UMass Medical Center in Worcester, treated by Dr. Heather Forkey and Dr. Peter South. Lisa, the older child, appeared to be about 3 years old. She was frightened as the doctors approached her. She would cower like she was about to eat. Dr. Forkey, this was a sign that Lisa had adapted to the lack of caregiver support and was exposed to constant threats. She sensed she was being threatened. Lisa tried to make herself as small as possible so the threat would not notice her. Lisa could not make eye contact with the doctor. She rocked back and forth in the sofa. Her hair had not been managed and her muscle tone was described as doughy, indicating she did not use her muscles at all. She was propped up, she told her legs to repeat it. Unable to eat food or drink water. She also had a diaper rash. Erica had not changed her regularly or been under treatment. According to Dr. Forkey, Lisa had so much wax in her ears, her whole unable to see her ears. Lisa did not speak. Rather, she made subtle sounds only. Dr. Forkey believed that Lisa had experienced a profound amount of neglect which resulted in physical, emotional, and developmental consequences. Dr. Forkey suspected that Lisa could be autistic due to some of the symptoms that she was exhibiting. Lisa was admitted to UMass Medical Center for further testing. Thankfully, her tests were all negative for infection. Her vitamin D and albumin levels were low, indicating she was nutritionally deficient and had not been exposed to sunlight, which was consistent with her being kept in the upstairs bedroom. Dr. Forkey also examined Gina, who appeared to be about 5 months old. Gina made eye contact with the doctors and engaged with them with smiling and reality. But her sister, Gina's muscle tone was also underdeveloped. She did not move on the examining table like most children would. Rather, she lay on the table with her arms out to her sides. The back of her head was flat, indicating that she spent most of her time on her back. She did not make any verbal sounds when examined, unlike normally developed 5 months old. Dr. Forkey's opinion, Gina also had experienced significant neglect. Gina was also admitted to the hospital for additional tests. She did not have any infections, fractured bones, or heel fractures. Lisa and Gina did well in foster care and physically improved within a short period of time. They both received their immunizations and Lisa's muscle tone improved. According to Lisa's foster parents, she was walking within 2 weeks after her placement. On September 3rd, the DCF staff in the Witnessville office met with Erica. According to DCF investigator Kathleen Freeze, Erica had a flat ab that appeared very calm, whereas Ramon was visibly upset and sobbing. Neither parent inquired about their children. During the meeting, Erica provided the dates of birth for Lisa and Gina. He also referred to Lisa as it several times. The staff asked about someone named Michelle Ridgway. Erica explained that Michelle Ridgway was a fictional friend she created on Facebook to explain the constant threats to the younger children in the house. She told Neil and Nick that she was babysitting Michelle's young children.
A search warrant was executed at the Murray house on September 2nd by Blackstone Police in Massachusetts St. Louis. The officers were looking for evidence regarding the identity of the younger children and their parentage. However, they found a lot more than marbles. The officers discovered the remains of 2 babies and another dog in the bedroom closet. The babies had become skeletonized and were clothed in diapers and bandages. One had remnants of a full head of hair that was stuck inside the backpack. In another bedroom closet, they found the remains of a third infant in the box. The third baby still had been built before it was infant, which led officers to believe that it had been stolen. Now, according to one source, officers described the baby as fully blood. I have no idea what that is supposed to mean. According to some other sources, several family pets were found dead in the home beyond the 2 that we've already mentioned, including other dogs and cats. Now, due to their unexpected findings, Erica was arrested and charged with second-degree homicide in the death of the 2 clothed children. She was also indicted on 2 counts of assault and battery on a child causing substantial bodily injury, 2 counts of reckless endangerment of a child, 2 counts of cruelty to animals, and 1 count of concealing a fetal death. She was held in over $1 million bail. Allegedly, the infants had been found in cardboard boxes inside of the closets that belonged to Erica's older children. Ramon was indicted on 7 charges, including 2 counts of assault and battery on a child causing substantial bodily injury, 2 counts of reckless endangerment of a child, 2 counts of cruelty to animals, and 1 count of cultivating.
During their trials, Erica's mental health was called into question, as was Ramon's alleged controlling behavior. Although he never physically put his hands on her, he displayed a series of abusive and controlling behavior. He allegedly pressured her to leave her job, grew jealous when she socialized with other friends and family, texted her frequently asking about her whereabouts, and threatened to abandon her when he was angry. According to forensic psychologist Dr. Lisa Rocio, she said, Ray used a pattern of behavior to instill a sense of fear and dependency. Forensic psychiatrist Dr. Judith Edersheim added that by the time she became pregnant with her younger children, she rarely left the house. She said she surmised that he didn't want her to be in the world. That treatment extended to verbal and financial abuse. Erica had no funds of her own for the bulk of their relationship and no access to the family's bank account. According to Dr. Rocio, quote, he would call her names, humiliate her, treat her like a servant. There's evidence that when angry, Ray would refer to Erica in dehumanizing ways, end quote. Dr. Rocio diagnosed Erica with dependent and avoidant personality disorders and said she had cognitive deficiencies related to problem solving and short-term memory, as well as a profound lack of insight and awareness into her behavior and its impacts. She added that Erica displayed almost no ability to productively cope with her circumstances or plan ahead. She would attempt to avoid dealing with problems. When forced to, her solutions were often extremely short-sighted, such as her attempts to keep her pregnancy secret from Ramon, who did not want any additional children. According to Dr. Rocio, Erica appeared to not understand just how dangerous her home was for her children, or how her youngest surviving daughters could be harmed by being kept indoors without access to vaccinations or medical treatment. She said, quote, she was really quite confused even when confronted with descriptions of the home, end quote.
Eventually, the homicide charges against Erica were dropped after Judge Janet Kenton Walker ruled that while prosecutors proved one of the dead babies survived childbirth, they failed to prove that Erica could have saved the baby by calling for help or performing CPR when she discovered the baby blue and not breathing. Erica had previously told police that she had found the baby dead in its bassinet. The baby that was found with its umbilical cord and placenta still attached had already been proven to be stolen. According to her defense attorney, Keith Halpern, there was no question that Erica's home was a tragic and unhealthy environment for her children. But, he said, a murder charge requires proving that Erica both knew her infant child was in distress and that she could have saved the baby if she acted differently. Prosecutors presented no evidence of that. He said, quote, the facts in this case would not allow any judge to convict her of murder if they followed the law, end quote. Worcester District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. thanked police and prosecutors for their work on this case in statement, quote, this was a very hard case with a very difficult set of facts, as it always is when dealing with children who are victims. It has emotionally affected many people throughout Worcester County. We appreciate all the time and effort the judge put into her decision in this case. The court has spoken, end quote. Lieutenant Gregory Gilmore, who at this point in the trial had been promoted to acting Blackstone Police Chief, shared the following thoughts. Quote, this was a challenging case from the very beginning, but it has been most difficult for the children involved in this horrific situation. We also hope that with the end of this case, our community, which was shocked to our very core, can find closure, end quote. Soon after the trial, Gilmore was officially promoted to chief.
In 2019, Erica was found guilty of assault and battery on a child and cruelty to animals. Judge Janet Judge Janet Ken Walker sentenced her to 6 to 8 years in prison with credit for 5 years time served. During her imprisonment, she served her time at Western Massachusetts Regional Women's Correction Center in Chicopee. After release, she was to serve 5 years probation, during which she would have no contact with children under the age of 10 years old. As of the date of this recording, Erica has been released from prison and is active on Facebook. According to Judge Janet Ken Walker, quote, "There is nothing about this case that is normal. I cannot punish her, as some might want me to, for the fact that the remains of 3 babies were found in the closet," end quote. Ramon Rivera III took a plea deal and was sentenced by Judge Janet Ken Walker to 4.5 years and 1 day in prison, with credit for time served since December of 2014. This was for 1 count of assault and battery on a child with substantial injury, as well as 2.5 years in the Worcester County House of Correction, with credit for 136 days served on 2 counts of reckless endangerment of a child and 3 years probation for animal cruelty and possession of a on a plant. 1 count of assault and battery on a child with substantial injury was dismissed. By taking this deal, he avoided state prison and served his remaining time in county jail. Many people in the true crime community have commented on the light sentences, in their words, that both Erica and Ramon received, and how in other states they would have received much harsher sentences. Also of note is that of Skylar Richardson, who was facing life in prison potentially for a stillborn baby, whereas Erica faced no charges at all. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of these sentences and how you think it would have gone over in your own home state. In the aftermath of the horrors at 23 St. Paul Drive, Erica's 2 older children, Kayla and Nick, now live with their paternal grandparents in another town. They live in a big, beautiful house on a cul-de-sac with a basketball hoop and a backyard pool. The 2 younger girls, only known publicly by the pseudonyms Lisa and Gina, remain in foster care. Finally, 23 St. Paul Drive was torn down to the ground. Workers in hazmat suits spent days cleaning out the house. The town spent $20,000 in the cleanup and about $8,500 to take it down. As we mentioned previously, the house belonged to Ramon's sister, Christina Rivera of Woonsocket. According to the authorities, Christina refused to respond to their many attempts to contact her, including ignoring a notice that she must have the condemned home destroyed. She was being fined $500 a day for not complying with the order to have the home torn down. As of the date of this recording, 23 St. Paul Drive is nothing more than a vacant lot. Although the grim reminder of what went on inside the squalid home is gone, a permanent scar will be left on the neighborhood forever.
Taking me. I'm falling rapido down this black hole, and I don't think I can come out of it, mate. I'm in there now, okay? After the video I did of the woman in the background, basically mouthing the exact same words as that woman was talking about, even the mistakes that she was making, right? And not thinking, what's that all about, okay? You guys tell me you don't know about MK Ultra. This is MK Ultra. I'm like, what the actual F is MK Ultra? I think even in the video I said, what is MK Ultra? Is that a new Mortal Kombat game or something? Now, thanks to you, I started looking into this MK Ultra, mate. Holy moly. What the actual... To some of you, you're probably thinking that I've been living under a rock, okay? But I haven't been, I promise you. I do my thing, I get out and about, I get some fresh air, alright? This MK Ultra is an experiment that went on back in the 50s. It went on for about 20 years. And this is a video that I saw that basically put it all in a nutshell.
Project MK Ultra is said to have begun in the early 1950s, and for almost 20 years, the CIA's experiments exposed many unwitting Americans to drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation,
These people volunteered, mate!
abuse, and torture. The entire extent of the program will never be known because MK Ultra programs were so secret that even the agents running the CIA front companies were said to be unaware of anything beyond their own operations.
Who is the person that thought this was a good idea? Who is the person in the office that just went, mate, I've got a massive idea and it's going to be brilliant. How about we give people loads of drugs, abuse them, and God knows what else, mate, and we take some mind control? Who the hell? And who was the person that said, yeah, that's a good idea, mate? All in? Yeah, let's rambo it.
But what we do know is frightening. MK Ultra's goal was to look into techniques of manipulating and affecting the mind. There were approximately 100 other experiments, such as brainwashing, drug testing to cause amnesia.
You know that film, Jacob's Ladder? That was talking about, that was one of the best movies ever made, by the way, okay? But wasn't that talking about an experiment that they did on, the military, when they go to war, they put them on some sort of LSD, to make them go crazy or something, and just complete rage. Freaky as F, mate. The video said it was starting in the 50s until probably the 70s. But what you're saying is this could still be going on. This could still be going on now, right? So I started looking into a little bit more. This is what I'm saying, mate. I started going down this rabbit hole, okay, and started looking into this MK Ultra, right? And I started looking at more different examples of what this MK Ultra is, right? And then I saw this video. This video is probably more freaky deaky than the woman that I just bloody showed the other day, okay? This is incredible. Bearing in mind, right, how many times is a human supposed to blink? 15 to 20 times a second, okay? And I think I've heard that women on average blink twice as much as men. That's what I've heard. It could be complete BS, but 15 to 20 seconds we're supposed to blink. You're probably looking at me blinking now, aren't you? Right, whatever, right? So I saw this video. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Check this out. Look at this guy. Creepy man behind senator blinking only with one eye and standing still for more than 15 minutes.
Dedicate our careers to it. I have at least. During the course of my service, I've countless investigations. In the past few years, I've never seen so much effort from the FBI, parts of the media.
That is just... What are you doing, mate? What are you doing? What happened to you? Is this an MK Ultra situation going on here? Man, no, it can't be, mate. It can't be. It's just got to be some weirdo.
Some of my Democrat colleagues to interfere with and undermine very legitimate.
Mate, that legit. I don't know if he's an alien. Like, people are saying aliens, MK Ultra, bloody, what's the other one? Bloody lizard people or something like that, mate? Who is he? Who are you?
It's because of a triad of disinformation and outright Full stops.
He doesn't move for 15 minutes.
Crossfire hurricane. Bit by bit, piece by piece, it's been deconstructed and shown.
He's blinking with one eye, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Maybe one eye's getting dusty. What's that all about?
The politically motivated investigation, which it was. We all know now that it was the Democratic National Committee,
Oh.
along with the Clinton campaign, colluded.
I'm just wondering, is it somebody that's doctored the video, all right? And they've just, because he's standing so still, it's really easy to sort of just copy and paste open eyes on top of it.
With the Russians. They used it from the Russian spot. Fusion, GPS.
But even so, mate, even take out the blinking altogether. Hold on, right, because you're going to see some other crazy MK Ultra bloody robot things in a second. I'm going to show you another video. But this, mate, taking away the whole blinking situation, look at him burning some bloody holes in the back of this guy's head.
Of this triad at work. Our efforts against mine and Senator Johnson's ongoing Biden.
That's just weird, mate. I would get him out of that room. I'd be like, oi, you weirdo bastard, get out. We ain't got time for people like you here, mate. So anyway, then I started going into like more videos, trying to hunt for more videos. And mate, I tell you what, I'm a massive fan of the NBA. Golden State Warriors, let's go. What I don't understand is that, let's just say, for example, that guy there in the glasses, who's burning holes in the back of that guy's head. If he is somebody that went through that MK Ultra, or he is MK Ultra, like, are you saying that he now has the ability to transfer information over to somebody else? Or is he the funnel? Is he basically the gatekeeper, right? So information's coming to him from some external source, and then he's transmitting it over to that guy. Just saying that sentence makes me think I'm losing my head. But it's after seeing the video of the MK Ultra experiments, it just makes me think, hang on, don't rule anything out, mate, because this world is going absolutely crazy, as you know. Like, people are saying in the comments as well, there's more and more stuff happening then. Some people are saying it's about the Bible and that, and like aliens coming down, and the aliens are the demons and stuff like that. And it's going to be, what was that? I can't remember. It's like some sort of chapter in the Bible that says that this is going to happen. Explain to me what the job role of an MK Ultra would be, okay? Probably used for anything, all right? But how is it used? How is that person used? Anyway, this next video is other examples of how people have just had, which I thought a while ago was just like a glitch. I thought it was either camera work, a glitch, maybe celebrities doing something to sort of like get known, you know, to go viral. But these things, man, are really, really weird. Check these out. You may have seen them before, but I want to just explain my thoughts going through it. Check this out. Because of the music, you can't really hear what he's saying. I'm just going to give you a heads up. So I'm probably going to be talking over it anyway. But look at this.
MK Ultra glitches in the industry.
He's like, I went viral? Did I? Yeah, because you didn't barely move, mate. Go on, Curry. Oh! Who's that? I was just freaked out. There it is! Fingers aren't even moving! It looks like there's something out of bloody Madame Tussauds or something like that. What the F is going on? Look at you! Why aren't you moving, mate? Even his eyes! It just looks like an AI robot. He said, I pay attention to my job. I'm serious about it. Attention, mate! Attention? That's 16k attention right there. It literally looks like somebody's just stood a model in front of there and he's like fixing his beard and stuff. And look at Shaq! Look at Shaq, mate! What? Look! Now this is the one that freaked me right out. I mean, like, she's crazy in herself, okay? But this is the one that freaked me out. Like, she looks like she's seen a ghost all of a sudden. What is that all about? What's that all about? Right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for opening up my eyes to this, mate. All right, what is it? Is it MK Ultra? Is it lizard people? Is it aliens? Is it robots? I mean, even after looking at those videos, I still think people are different. People act in different ways in different situations. You know, you can have the whole like rabbit in headlight situations. You can have brain fog and all this types of stuff. I just think that maybe we can't, or we shouldn't jump straight into the weird conspiracy type thing. That's my immediate thought, okay? However, I can't deny that something weird is going on. I don't know if it's normal that these things can happen, and we've just managed to find them because everything is documented nowadays. Like, this sort of stuff could have been happening for years and years, for eternity. You just don't know because we're documenting everything now. It's just, we're seeing it, you know? And, you know, we've got creative minds, and we'd like to just try to put these pieces together and build some sort of picture. And maybe that's what it's about. But it is weird. It is weird. Anyway, let me know what you think. Is it MK? Is it lizard people? Is it aliens? What the actual F is going on? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
married at 18, divorced at 21. Second marriage, married at 25, divorced at 28. Third engagement, engaged at 29, ended it at 30, but I kept the ring. I'm still keeping Tom Brady on his toes. We should not be afraid to leave these men. We are not stuck with these people. Marriage is not a sanctimonious thing. It is.
That's not what the word
paperwork.
sanctimonious means.
It's a commitment you make to someone. But if you feel like you're not getting anything from that commitment and you're trying, you gotta go. You gotta go. You have to go. I know it's difficult to fill out paperwork and to make appointments and to do all of these things, but this is your fucking life. Do you want to be stuck with someone? Period. Do you want to be stuck with someone?
First of all, 2 points. One, J-Lo has her beat. J-Lo is way more...
True.
J-Lo is the Tom Brady of divorce. Everyone knows that. Two, it proves my point right about just how amazing... There's a scene in the new Twisted Metal where they torture people by making them fill out endless DMV paperwork. This is true.
To Mia Khalifa, the worst thing about getting divorced is the paperwork.
Yeah, she's like, I just got my nails done.
She thinks that marriage is just a piece of paper... But
it's a sanctimonious relationship between men and women.
If
Mary.
marriage is just a piece of paper, then I want to ask, like, why did you do that twice, almost 3 times? If it's meaningless, why did you engage in the institution? And this is why I said the best argument against no-fault divorce is just telling these people who clearly don't value the sanctity of marriage to not get married.
Yeah, just don't get married.
It's so easy. It costs $0 to not get married.
I feel like people want, and it's women because men don't care, but like I feel like women want the attention and they want that special day.
They want the wedding.
And they want the wedding.
That's why all of Mia Khalifa's wedding photos were of herself.
There was like there was almost barely any photos of them together. It was all photos of her posing.
Granted, the guy might have been a little bit ashamed to be with her, but
but I mean that's the thing. It's people nowadays don't look at marriage as a commitment. They look at it like dating. They look at it like going out with like extra steps. Like I
dating
really
on hard
like
mode.
Yeah, it's like I really like this person. But because like, oh, it'll be a real hassle. You think it's a pain in the butt to break up with someone?
We got a government certificate that says I really like you.
It's so stupid.
For now.
It is
but
so
if you
stupid.
do anything that I deem as toxic and you get in the way of my powerful career as an OnlyFans star, then I'm kicking you to the curb.
Wait, what do you mean you said you don't like it when I post content on OnlyFans? Divorced. Like, didn't they have that discussion beforehand? They should.
Yeah, you should have. I mean, there shouldn't be, like in a marriage, you shouldn't have surprises like that. It shouldn't be like, oh, I don't like you posting on OnlyFans. Well, you know what, dummy? I was doing it before we got married. You met me while I was doing it. So don't get married to someone that does things you don't like.
Sort of like Jonah Hill. Like, don't date someone who has swimsuit pictures on their Instagram if you don't want them to have swimsuit pictures on their Instagram.
I was dating this wonderful woman. I loved her to death, but I was not going to move, right? And we dated for a year, and it kind of came to the time where she was like, hey, so what's going on with moving? I was like, I'm really not moving. So we broke up. Tried to get back together again and see if we could kind of figure it out. I'm still not moving.
Yeah.
Like,
it matters.
These things matter. Like, so like be honest with your partner in the beginning and stick to your guns. And then if your partner tells you, hey, these are deal breakers for me, then you have to be like, hey, I'm going to need that. We can't date. Like, that's an option, saying, making the adult decision. I want this, you want that. These things will not work together, so we can't date. We can be friends. Maybe we can screw around if we're grown-ups and we're not, if
Mary
you're not religious.
disavows.
Fine. Some people do, and whatever. Fair enough. I'm a degenerate. I know, like, that Mary's not. I know it's fine. But the point is, you don't have to do things that don't line up with the way that you want your life.
And that's what dating is for. It's to figure out whether you're going to commit to this person for life.
Smartest fucking thing she said in 5 minutes.
And a lot of this has to do with the fact that the state has gotten involved with marriage too, right? That it's no longer a religious ceremony the same way it used to be, and the consumerist nature and the consumerist nature of weddings, like you said earlier, like to the guy, he may look at it that way. Like, I don't know if the guys in her life looked at it as a means of like lifelong commitment. I can't speak to that, but I do know that for her, I imagine it had a lot to do with getting the ring and taking the photos and making the posts on social media
and telling your friends
so
and
that
getting
everyone
the attention.
Where her friends will then say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you," and then talk shit behind your back, right? So like,
porn stars get married left and right, and I really don't understand it, but look at what happens to their relationships as the years go by. Usually they don't last. And I think she did say that a factor in her second marriage ending in divorce was the fact that her husband was not comfortable with the fact that all of these videos of her exist on the internet for everyone to see in the most intimate position. And granted, he shouldn't have been dating an ex-porn star or current porn star if he wasn't comfortable with that. But at the same time, these are the consequences of your actions. You can't just say like, oh, I was young, I didn't understand the consequences at the time.
If you can Google an individual's butthole, then you probably should not be marrying that person.
I mean, it's just, I don't want to compare people to products or commodities, but the analogy works that, you know, if everyone has access to something, it's not valuable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the psychological impact of her having done this stuff in the past makes her an insufferable person to be in a relationship with. Like, you've permanently broken your brain and your ability to pair bond.
Yeah. And that's rampant in the culture now anyways. I mean, just the fact
whether
that
it's related to porn or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
in
these
general,
women who have hooked up with tons of guys, you're going to have a much harder time getting into a lasting relationship when your ability to pair bond has been wrecked by being in the most intimate relationship with hundreds of people and having it end over and over again, or serial monogamy. If you're in a committed relationship over and over again and that ends over and over again, your brain becomes used to the pattern of those types of relationships ending, right?
And you're just expecting it to come to an end.
But telling women this in their own best interests is deemed misogynist now.
You're not allowed to criticize at all. Not really, at least not in a way. And we've kind of eliminated the ability to actually take criticism or take advice from people, especially because a lot of it comes at the hands of people on the internet. So you're already predisposed to not necessarily like want to hear it. Even if maybe you're getting good advice, a lot of times it's not exactly given to you in the most polite of ways.
Yeah.
And even if you're hearing what you need to hear, somebody's telling you what you need to hear, it would mean more if it came from somebody who actually knew you, but I don't know if that's actually happening to
Lydia
her.
responded to this and said, on my way to get parenting advice from Casey Anthony and business direction from Elizabeth Holmes.
Thank you, Lydia. Oh, there it is right there. Thank you, Lydia.
Love that. Love that for you.
That is the way it is. I don't know if there's a worse person you could get marriage advice from, but it's just unbelievably cynical to me. The way that it's the lack of even attempting to talk about that commitment is hard work, that relationships are hard work, let alone marriage, which is even more work long term. And if you were married that many times in that short of a period of time, it's not as if you went the distance for 2 decades and then it fell apart. It's that you didn't even make it past that first initial period, where a lot of times people are the happiest because they're still filled with all of the chemicals that make your brain kind of crazy when you're in a new relationship.
We've got one from Rhaegar Targaryen. Said, I just saw Oppenheimer and I cannot stop thinking about it. That man was done dirty. I like the focus on communism and political subterfuge. Christopher Nolan is one of the only people I trust to handle political drama.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people think he's secretly based. I would maybe say I agree. I can't
We almost believed it when the headline said he came out as non-binary.
Yes. It would have been really funny if he had. I loved Oppenheimer. Like, I really thought a lot of those critiques, like, Jack Posobiec said, like, it's a love letter to communism. I'm like, you didn't watch it very closely.
Not
then.
exactly.
Have
you guys seen those like street interview videos where they'll like go up to an elderly married couple and ask them, you know, how long have you been together and what is your advice for keeping a long-lasting healthy marriage? Yeah. And a lot of the things that they reiterate every time are like, being married will reveal to you your weaknesses and reveal to you how selfish you are. Probably having kids is a huge part of that too. Yeah. And it's a purifying thing. It's like a purifying fire that will like cleanse you of a lot of your selfishness. And if you're like Mia Khalifa or you're an influencer, your entire life and career has been all about you.
Yeah.
Then you're not capable of being in a relationship where you focus on another person for once.
Yeah. It's, I don't know if that's something that can change. I think with us living increasingly more within our phones and digitally, like, I don't know if we are able to foster a less narcissistic and self-involved culture. I think it only, unfortunately, I think it only gets worse over time. In my opinion, do you think that's something that we can change, that we can pull back?
There's studies that say that like Gen Z and young people have a significant conservative streak in them. So we'll see. I don't know.
Especially teenage boys.
Yeah. I don't know, because I think that as much as society has really demonized men and boys for the past 20, 30 years, I think that that's going to start to be minimized more. I don't know about stop. I don't think it's going to stop, but I think it's going to be at least receive pushback. And I think that might help society a little bit.
I think we need WGTOW, where all of these women who supposedly hate men so much can go their own way and stop trying to get married when they clearly hate all men.
I thought they were called radfems.
Yeah, that's, I guess, the corollary there.
Yeah.
The Jose from Tower Gang, who was on last night, he met his wife and they got married a month later, and they've been married 10 years.
I think Candace Owens and her husband also got married very quickly.
That kind of stuff happens, but you have to find it's not so much about finding the right person. It's about finding the person that wants to stay married and work on the marriage. It's not like...
That's what he basically said. He said, like, look, he goes, we became more attracted to each other as the relationship went on. They grew into it more.
That's what happens when you but it takes the commitment. Like when people ask, like, how to, you ask old people or people that have been couples for a long time, stuff, always like, how did you do it? And it's like, well, we just never broke up. And it's that simple. Like the things that really upset you that you're like, man, I don't know if I can do it. Like they just didn't do the man, I don't know if I could do it part. They just said, well, I'm pissed off, and then I'm going to talk to him or figure it out. But it is as simple as not leaving. Like, granted, if it's infidelity or violence, I get it. Like those kind of things, you can't stay in a relationship. But otherwise, like if he leaves the seat up all the time, friggin' deal. Like, learn how to deal with it. Learn how to talk to him and communicate with him. If she does something that's annoying all the time, she spends too much money, deal. Figure it out. But those are the things that are small things that you can get through in your relationship. The things you can't, I get it. Violence or abuse, that stuff does happen, and people need a way out. But otherwise, like, she burnt dinner, shut up. You have dinner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hope to see that more people end up finding ways to to get married and stay married, because the divorce rates are unfortunately very, very high. But if society is changing and we're pushing in another direction, and also just learning to value it more, I guess. And it just feels like there's also like Hollywood has been very cynical for a very long time about marriage. So a lot of the culture, a lot of the media, there was a whole genre of movies, whether we're talking about American Beauty, a lot of movies and stuff that came out in the late 90s and the early 2000s bemoaned suburban life. Like, you had it really... Think about Office Space. It's not really to do with marriage.
Yeah.
I think it was like, oh,
American Beauty was definitely... hating on suburban American life.
And what it is they didn't understand how good they had it. It was about the boredom of that suburban life that you had. The problem is that's coming from the mind of a writer who has moved to Hollywood, where they're not living the values of somebody in middle America. True. But those ideas were pushed forth to the general public, and I think that caught into the consciousness of society, and a lot of those values have been kind of eroded by popular culture and film as well.
I think the cynical tone that society has is a significant detriment to marriage and stuff like that, because people go into marriage expecting to divorce.
Yeah.
Like, this is my starter husband.
Oh God, like that kind of stuff.
That term has proliferated. I think extended adolescence is also a huge factor here. I mean, Mia Khalifa is a 30-year-old woman, and she lives the life of a teenager.
I live the life of a teenager myself, so I'm not in any position.
Well, what I mean by that is how self-centered she is.
Oh, okay, all right.
And emotionally immature. I just saw this headline from a few days ago. Mia Khalifa told a passenger on her flight that it was her honeymoon so that they could switch seats and she would get to sit next to her friend. Who lives like that?
You're just a bad person.
Yeah.
You're just a bad person.
Who would want to put up with someone like that?
It was like that story I have, like where I was on
still
the plane.
like throws shade at her ex-boyfriend. Like, you're 30 years old. Grow the hell up.
Well, also she doesn't have to go to a normal job.
And anyone who, like, in this country who's like 18 to 22 who is ready to get married is miles ahead in maturity compared to a 30-year-old woman that acts like this. So I'm not, denigrating marriage for the people who actually value it. I think that if you don't value the sanctity and indissolubility of marriage, then stay away from the institution. Just don't engage with it.
Yeah.
If you don't value
even,
the sanctimoniousness.
don't get legally married. Just have a wedding. If that's what you want to do, is throw a party and wear a pretty dress. Do that.
The thing is, I think that a lot of people would do that if their friends wouldn't tell them to shut the hell up. Like, if your mom and dad wouldn't be like, no, we're not going to your dumb party that's not really a wedding. Like, like, I think a lot of people would be like, oh, it's not really a wedding? Yeah, I'm going to stay home. Yeah, I really, because honestly, because there's only a handful of people that I know that I would go to their wedding.
Yeah.
Like, if you're really my friend, you're probably not going to invite me to your wedding because I don't want to go.
Yeah. There you go. Be kind. Don't invite them.
Exactly.
You can invite them to the bachelor party. Don't invite them to the wedding.
Mia Khalifa definitely has Bridezilla vibes.
All right. Let's go to Super Chat, shall we?
Mr. X said she has a body count higher than a Vietnam War vet. Yikes. Johnny Beck sent us a thumbs up. Thank you. Shane H. Wilder said, Mary, why would you send me ninjas to cut onions?
He's talking about the video about your horrorly chosen
tater tot.
Yes, tater tot video.
I'm sorry, but tater tot deserves to
morosely cute.
Be memorialized. Disco Jensen said, everything from my childhood has been defiled. Time to read my Bible.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I like I said, I'm not passing judgment on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie yet because we're going to see it tonight. But I can already tell that it really wasn't made for me anyways. It's for a younger demographic. It's not
made for you.
Yeah, it's for a younger demographic.
Kai said, Phil, can you give us a roar?
He's been asking. How's that one?
Thanks.
Somebody please clip that and send it to me. Thank you very much. And that one.
There you go.
Disco Jensen said, taking your employees to a sex club as a male offender and female offender are two different games. Notice how there are no calls to lock her up.
And they didn't have a choice because they wouldn't be able to give consent because he's a male with power dynamics.
I think that's why the backup dancers ended up in that situation anyways, because they're women and they're not capable of being assertive and they go along with what the rest of the group is doing way too often. You just need to learn to have your own voice and your own mind about things.
Which is funny because they're the ones who always talk about the generic terms. Like, they help me find my voice.
Exactly.
Like, what, the voice of literally everyone else?
Did Lizzo help her backup dancers find their voice when they didn't want to eat a banana out of a sex worker's vagina?
She helped them find catering.
I don't think so.
Got him. I hate the internet. I hate how the internet has turned everybody into public speakers who sound like they've got something written for them by some type of publicist. Just talk like a normal human being.
Mm-hmm. Olivia Claire said, if someone told me I looked like Lizzo, I would never leave my house again. Also, my computer keeps trying to autocorrect Lizzo to pizza. Very fitting.
That's what I laughed about. That's what I saw that and I laughed. So
Kai said, I just want a genuine Phil roar. Never give up. Well, he obliged.
I just did. You got two.
That one's for the second one.
Yeah, hopefully the deep was what you're looking for.
Grin said, day one of saying MABGA, make bullying great again.
But what's the A stand for? Make American bullying great again?
Oh, yeah. You forgot about the A.
Yeah, make American bullying great again.
Make all bullying
there you go.
Great again.
There you go.
Josh High said, you don't need to mention her weight. But I wanted to. So I
wanted to.
Mary's
but it was fun.
Mary's giving you the real reason. I'm going to give you the technical reason. The technical reason is that she uses it to her advantage. Therefore, she does not get to just not include it when the story's
literally
about it.
the entire point of her show on Amazon, Watch Out for the Big Girls, was about her hiring women to be fat on stage with her because she's fat. So
Hiring women to
I
be
feel like
fat
we're
on
allowed to
stage
discuss
with her.
that.
I love it.
But yeah, Corey Anderson said, I would pay good money to see Lizzo run a 40 at the NFL combine.
At the NFL Combine? Yeah, that would be. I wonder what her 40 is. That would be.
She's probably way more fit than most people her size.
Well,
Lizzo?
Yeah, she probably has more muscle mass than most people her size. That's not to say she's healthy, but
try blowing up an NFL linebacker. Like, you cannot get them tired because they're in such good shape.
Yeah,
Just because they're big does not mean that they're not in good shape.
Sort of. The linebackers are explosive, so like they'll go push off the line and stuff. But you get a linebacker trying to run like 100 yards. And linebackers by 50 yards
still in better shape than the average person of that size.
You're probably right. But by the time the linebackers get to the 50-yard line, the running back and the wide receivers, they've all already got a touchdown. So
somebody says her 40 would be 48 seconds.
Shane H. Wilder said, how is Lizzo not in better shape? Because she ran for that victim card fast.
Yep. Got him.
Hypothesis said, Lizzo is the black female TJ Kirk. Changed my mind. Wait, what? Who is TJ Kirk?
The amazing atheist.
Oh.
I'm ending the poll because that was from Hypothesis. I'm going to end the poll because it was pot related, technically. I asked everybody, who is the ultimate 420 icon? With 40% Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
With 32% Bob Marley. With 23% Snoop Dogg. And with 3% Seth Rogen.
I really expected Snoop Dogg to beat up Bob. Bob Marley. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Cheech and Chong won.
Yeah, you said Bob Marley, and I for some reason was thinking Willie Nelson.
That Willie Nelson would have been my vote because there's always the stories that Snoop Dogg saying that the only person who could outsmoke him was Willie Nelson.
Yeah. Crofty said, I've become comfortably numb. Buck, happy 420 episode. Thank you.
Nice.
Corey Anderson said, tell Hannah Claire I said what's up.
If I see her in passing, I will say what's up.
Spencer Jones said, been a Scientologist for a long time, works for me. If you have questions, I'm on the Discord. Met Leah Ramini ages ago. She was terrible to me.
She also perpetrated that suburban image that they had in TV back then where you actually believe that Kevin James is married to Leah Ramini. Just no.
Yeah. I'm not going to join the Discord, sorry, but yeah, I'd be interested to hear more.
By the way, I'm not saying that Kevin James can't be married to a hot woman because Kevin James is a successful actor.
No, his character.
His character is married to a woman
driver.
that the UPS driver is married to a woman that looks like Leah Ramini. Just not really. No.
I guess you're just bigoted against UPS drivers.
I was sent an article earlier that says that like all UPS workers now are going to be making six figures. Like all drivers are making six figures. And like I said, I've known 3 or 4 people that have worked at UPS. All of them made careers out of it, and none of them has a bad thing to say about the company. They love working there.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Disco Jensen said the solution is to become a wasteland pirate raider for the strike. Yeah. Already doing that. Corey Anderson said, Phil, what musician would you like to collaborate with that you haven't had the chance to?
Metallica.
That'd be cool. Joshua 029 said, I blame all this on people that don't put electrical tape on the camera lens on their phone. # abort the government. I mean, I take selfies too often to put electrical tape there.
Which is funny because Mary will just leave her phone around because she's not, attached to her phone. Right? You don't have to carry it with you everywhere you go.
Makes me anxious.
Yeah.
Wasn't
there a famous photo of Zuckerberg covering the front of his camera?
Yes.
On his phone?
Yeah.
He just doesn't trust Apple. That's the thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. And like at one point, like his phone got hacked and the password was like Dada, like DADA or something like that. I remember that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Joshua029 said, Hypothesis said, you see Doom Guy versus NPC Girl from Flash Gets?
No, I don't know what that is.
No.
Neither do I.
Please explain. Shane H. Wilder said, I never use AI in memes because it creeps me out. Thank you.
I think Kellen used something to create that meme of me with the cowboy hat last night on IRL. I didn't appreciate
feeding
that.
your image into the algorithm.
I didn't appreciate that, Kellen, even if I did look cool with the laser eyes.
Jacob Edler said, y'all never heard of Project Melody?
I have, but I wouldn't be able to tell you the specifics. I saw people in the chat talking about that earlier.
Kai said, Emma Watson is exceptionally pretty. She's my age. Well, thanks for that fun fact.
Emma Watson is still, I mean, but you would never have a chance with Emma Watson, not because you're not a great guy or could provide for her, but because she's self-paired. Remember, she
called herself that?
She called herself like in a relationship with herself. It was like somebody asked her a question in an interview, and instead of she's just coping.
You can't just say that you're single.
No, she's like, I'm in a relationship with myself. Like there was that lady, there was a lady, like a smoking hot lady who married herself and then divorced herself like 2 months later because she met someone.
So how is that even possible?
No clue. It wasn't in America.
Okay. Corey Anderson said, Phil, would you work with Tenacious D or Weird Al?
I mean, yeah.
Or Rucka Rucka Ali.
Rucka, I don't know. Maybe. There's not like a lot of people that I'm like, no, I wouldn't work with. Like if you're a commie or a Nazi, no. Otherwise, probably.
It would be really cool to see somebody here get to work with Weird Al. He's such a legend.
I know Weird Al's his production manager and his tour manager, and she's a wonderful woman. And if I understand correctly, Weird Al is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy.
Woman.
Too.
You very
nice try.
You very rarely hear about anybody having anything bad to say about. This isn't that story, but here's another one. This was that one that says, I can't take it anymore. A woman who married herself considers divorce after 24 hours. This is from March this year.
I can't take it anymore.
This is from March this year. I'm not even kidding you. I wonder why she married herself. Yeah. A woman who allegedly married herself has instigated divorce proceedings after spending just one day in her own company. Sophie Moret first announced the move back in February alongside photos of herself in a long white veil and gold tiara. That was literally what she was wearing, what Mia Khalifa was wearing. She had the tiara, she had the wedding dress on. It's an ode to narcissism, ladies and gentlemen. It's the world we live in today.
C-Chap said, Phil, any chance for you to do another country cover? The Thunder Rolls was about it.
I mean, I wouldn't put it off the table. I wouldn't say no. There is not a song that I'm in love with that I'm dying to cover, and I've been dying to cover, or I had been dying to cover the Thunder Rolls since the 90s. Like,
who's
since
saying
it came out.
Ronnie Millsap saying "Stranger in My House"?
I don't know.
You could do that. That'd be good.
Gordon Shimway said, anytime you think of Ron Perlman trying to violently scare you, imagine him in his outfit in Ice Pirates. Look it up. You're welcome.
I mean, he wasn't really all that scary in Sons of Anarchy either, but he's just a really well-written role. He's just like all I see when I look at him is like a dude I would either just run from or just all you have to do is like push him this way, and he's old enough like he'll fall on his hip and be in rough shape.
Yeah.
Corey Anderson said J-Lo is just copying Elizabeth Taylor, even married the same guy twice.
Maybe that's what it was. She's in her Elizabeth Taylor era.
Marrying the same person twice.
Yeah.
It happens. I looked up like how often do previously divorced couples get back together, and it was in the single digits, but it was like 3%, 5%, something like that.
There was a time when I would have repaired my marriage, but once the divorce happened, like that's it. I'm not doing that again.
This is the one I was talking about. Woman who married herself is now divorcing herself after meeting someone else.
Had she never met anyone before?
A woman who made headlines earlier this year by marrying herself is now headed for divorce. Her name was Chris Galera. She was a
There were two
model.
instances of this.
Yes, the 33.
What country can you marry yourself?
I don't know.
What country allows that?
The 33-year-old model
You get tax
insisted,
breaks?
I hope so. She wasn't disappointed not to have a groom and instead was embracing going it alone, but it wasn't meant to be. And 90 days later,
what is the point of wearing these? I'm sorry, slutty wedding dresses? You look like you're dressed in Fashion Nova.
Yeah, Fashion Nova wedding dresses.
It's not giving what it's supposed to give. I bet Fashion Nova does sell wedding dresses.
Isn't that
like
dress.
all porn stuff, right?
What do you mean?
Fashion Nova.
Wait,
Isn't it?
what?
Isn't it all like?
Fashion Nova is just like a fast fashion brand.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I
Yeah.
thought it was all.
But
I thought it was,
it's like
okay.
they were one. They're kind of like Bang Energy. They're really good at getting hot women to brand for them.
Fair enough.
Right? Like,
Fair enough.
have you ever seen the picture of the Bang Energy guy? He looks exactly like you imagine a guy who started a company named Bang Energy would look.
That has
You just look
like the
zazz.
hottest chicks ever.
His hair is just like up, like looks like he's actually like gets
He's
up
living
and puts
it
his head
out.
in a
He's living the
microwave.
part.
Yeah.
Their marketing department was the smartest thing. They got the hottest chicks at every car show.
Didn't they
and
get like Barstool to support them?
maybe?
But also-
there's this
I think
Brazilian.
they even sponsored a Turning Point event. Yeah. Do you
There's
remember
this,
that? Am I making that up?
I think you're making that
No,
up.
I could have sworn that Bang Energy did sponsor a Turning Point USA.
The women, the
Teens
conservative
event or
women
something
are
like
hotter
that.
anyways.
They
and
are.
they got like
They
hot
are.
women to shoot Bang Energy T-shirts into the audience of this Turning Point event.
Michael Knowles
And
catches
nobody
the shirt and
cared.
doesn't know what to do with it. He's like, what am I doing with this shirt?
They
And they
used
were
to-
like shooting actual dollar bills into the audience, and nobody was getting up to catch them.
Emma Watson
Dollar
says
bills.
she's self-partnered. Here's what that means and why it's not a bad idea. From NBC today. It says when Emma Watson and Gwyneth Paltrow came out and used phrases like self-partnered and conscious uncoupling, it challenges the psychological implications and narratives behind the phrases being single and getting divorced.
Gwyneth Paltrow is also remarried now, by the way. Shane H. Wilder said, yes, because I'm really going to take advice from a corn star on marriage instead of following the CCC.
Cut color clarity? When you're buying a wedding ring?
It's the catechism of the Catholic Church.
Oh. Cut color clarity too.
This guy just loves the CCC and the PCC and the CCP.
Telling you.
Kai said, why does Mary look so pretty? Phil, I need a roar. Well, he gave it to you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Rhaegar Targaryen. Sorry, I already read that one. Grofty said buck, buck, buck. Hypothesis said Office Space over The Office. Mike Judge equals God.
Yeah, for me, but that's just because it's shorter. It's shorter and easier to consume. Office Space is a masterpiece.
I like The Office no matter how many times people will call me an NPC for liking The Office.
Did they say that to you?
Well, they say it's like what everyone on their Hinge profile says they like.
No.
Because you're supposed to. Tom Bombarder said, Socrates said, by all means, marry. If you find a good wife, you'll become happy. If you find a bad one, you'll become a philosopher.
Oh, perfect.
I thought he had a good marriage. He had kids, too.
You'll become a philosopher.
He was also pederast, but that's a different conversation. And
For another day.
Kai said, ow.
Okay, well, thank you, Kai.
What hurt you? Who
All
hurt
right.
you?
Guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Thank you very much for that. Phil, let everyone know where they can find you.
I am Phil Labonte, the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Phil That Remains. I'm Phil That Remains official on the old Instagram. The band is All That Remains. You can check us out on Apple Music, Spotify, what's the other one? Pandora, YouTube, you know. It's
Right?
true.
No, I do not think so. I think that if you have it spilling over the bottom of your
Just-
low rise.
No, but if you
listen.
get low rise that actually fits you and
The
doesn't...
solution is not the style. The solution is
not
the
be fat.
gym.
It's to not be fat.
The solution is put the fork down.
There you go.
You're
That's
right.
that's
Well, Brett is just really dreading watching Mutant Mayhem tonight. I didn't even want to see it, but I got the tickets because he told me to. And it just, aside from Splinter...
I could be at the Meg too tonight.
You know, is Splinter gay? Does Splinter make out with Scumbug?
had a wife
Aside
and
from all of
kid.
these stupid questions we're asking, it does seem like it's going to be bad anyway because it's made by Seth Rogen, the permanent teenager, as he calls himself. And April O'Neil is obviously not anything like Megan Fox
or Paige Turco or Judith Hogue.
Yeah.
Or any of the women that played April O'Neil that were smoking hot.
She looks like she works at the DMV.
April O'Neil. Are you mean talking about in the comic books?
In this movie.
Well, I'm listening to the other movie versions of.
And then
April
the,
O'Neil.
the animated
here's the thing,
TV
though.
show that
Remember-
they put out earlier this year, right?
The 2012
Rise of TMNT.
Yeah.
No, that's new.
The
Nickelodeon
I
show.
only watched the one from 2012.
No, but the newer one from like last year or this year, that also race swapped April O'Neil, but at least she was still skinny. And in this one, she's fat.
Cool.
It's just not.
Why?
It's just not.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Why does our society hate beauty so much? It's not even just in women. It's also like the celebration of the dad bods, and it's also the architecture. Everything is ugly and poorly made now.
I don't know, but it's infuriating.
You're not allowed to be hot anymore. You're not. We got a $20 one there from Patriot American. Thank you.
He said, Mary, I think you're confusing Jackie with George Takei.
In regards
no, Jackie
to what?
Chan is the voice actor.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's the voice actor for Splinter. It is really funny too, because like, remember we just had that story not that long ago where Jackie Chan was supposedly called very anti-LGBTQIA plus by his daughter, so maybe he had a problem with it.
Wait, is George Takei a CCP agent too?
Probably. No, he's Japanese, right?
I'm confused.
George Takei is Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was interned when he was
interned when he was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's not going to be a good movie. I could have gone to see The Meg. The sequel to The Meg. I regret this purchase. You shouldn't have listened to me.
The Megalodon, right?
It's just called The Meg 2.
Nice.
Like something Trench. It sounds awesome because it's got Jason Statham, and that's way cooler than having to go watch this, which is clearly not made for adults. But I'm a glutton for punishment, as you know. I love the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the first and the second one. The other day, because apparently this movie has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was tweeting about how this movie could have a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the first one, the 1990 film, has only a 42%. Obviously, Rotten Tomatoes wasn't a thing in 1990, but it's been aggregated since then. And as far as I'm concerned, that's heresy, because the 1990 movie is a masterpiece, and all those people should have lost their jobs.
It's weird how they changed the body types of the turtles.
Well, they
so
play
that they look
here.
like they skip leg day.
They're playing like
they look
kids
like
here.
potatoes with toothpicks stuck at the bottom.
It's a shame.
Yep.
It's just a shame.
Nothing's cool anymore. It's just not a thing. All right, let's go to Super Chats now that we're done with that depressing topic.
Okay. Tacty Platty said, Phil, in mornings near work passing through a neighborhood full of crunchy granola eating commies, I blast 2 weeks with windows down.
Yes!
Shani H. Wilder said, today's episode is going to be lit. I don't partake myself, but will you accept copious amounts of caffeine and nicotine?
Yes,
I will.
Call, man.
Francisco Sanchez Jr. said, hello, let's have a good show.
That was the $50 one. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Joshua 029 said, Mr. Cody, we need clarification now. We have questions we're not sure we want the answers to.
You don't want the answers.
You don't.
Stay away from the answers.
Don't ask.
Let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back. Thank you, guys. Let's talk about the follow-up, Mary, to what's going on with Lizzo.
Yeah. So we recently talked about Banana Gate, as it's called on this channel from here on out. Lizzo has received a lot of allegations of weird banana stuff, discrimination, and attempted assault from 3 of her former backup dancers who were on her show on Amazon Prime, Watch Out for the Big Girls. And she has come out to respond to these allegations and wholly denies that anything ever happened in the lawsuit. She said, these last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. And I won't stand for it. No, my character has been criticized. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. I don't know. I feel like bringing your employees to a sex club and making them eat bananas out of strippers' vaginas is a little bit inappropriate and unprofessional.
Sounds
that's just
to
me.
Yep.
I guess I'm crazy. As an artist, I've always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music and performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards. Sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone uncomfortable, like they aren't valued as an important part of the team. I'm not here to be looked at as a victim, but I also know that I'm not the villain that people in the media have portrayed me to be these last few days. I'm open with my sexuality and expressing myself.
It's giving Kevin Spacey.
I'm a flirt.
It's like
you could say that. I'm a big flirt.
So I have to ask you a question, Mrs. Lizzo. I have to ask you a question. Did you or did you not, in fact, make women who work for you eat bananas out of the vaginas of sex workers?
Did you
I'm open about my sexuality. I don't know what kind of question.
Did you not
is.
hold a 12-hour-long audition in which one of your backup dancers soiled herself because she couldn't take a bathroom break? These questions need answers. She said, I'm very open with my sexuality and expressing myself, but I cannot accept or allow people to use that openness to make me out to be something I'm not. There is nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. Ugh.
I love the gendered, like, it's got nothing to do with it. This is a unique problem because here's the thing. Phil, do you think this would, if this was guys on tour and they were asked to go to a strip club with guys they work with, what would the expectation be that if they didn't want to go, they just say no?
Yeah.
And nobody would care.
And I tell you what, 90% of the guys are going to say no.
Yeah, exactly,
But yes,
right? But the idea here is that the women felt pressured to go because they need the acceptance of the,
well, they said
tribe.
We felt like it was mandatory to go to these group outings with Lizzo or else our jobs were in jeopardy. And I said, ultimately it's your choice. If you feel like your integrity is on the line, you should probably just walk away from the job. But also I understand that there are power dynamics. But when it's someone who looks like Lizzo, she's supposed to be this feminist empowerment figure in media, and she's like done so much for fat positivity and for feminism that we can't criticize her for anything.
What is she done? Because I get like people put a lot of, like, she gets a lot of attention and she's an artist that's, written popular music and stuff. But other than that, what exactly has
One of
Lizzo
these
done besides
bonkers
be
comments?
fat?
The comment section on this is all women saying, wow, innocent until proven guilty has gone out the window, huh? Women who probably ordinarily would throw men under the bus for similar or less severe allegations. But one of them said, Lizzo has changed everything for plus...
Give me a reason to keep trying. You give me more than I could dream, and you bring me to my knees. You bring me to my knees. Your heart is cold and I'm not the one that you've chosen to love. I still can't believe that you're right next to me. After all that I've done, I told you so. So give it to me anyway. Can't get enough. You're everything I need. And when I walk away, take off running and come right after me. It's what you do, and I don't deserve you. The body's jumping. I got the rhymes to keep your body pumping. To keep you rocking, that's I'm a contender. Cause ain't no one gonna see to your gender. I'm gonna bring it down so you can see. Still one way, I recite my poetry. Yeah, flash out, pop, I'm on me. I'll make that skill and the drum machine. Never get rid of the little I'll say I'm never that too much. Slow it down. I wanna make it hard, so I choose what's right. As a doing body, I am. Grab Jay-Z, popping up set. I'm gonna be strong to beat you back. What do you know? Slow down, so you can it's my beat. It's my beat. It's my beat. Thank you.